It's always two voices speaking to you, right? You got in the cartoons, they show you in the cartoons, you got the demon on one shoulder, then you got the angel on the other shoulder. Okay, so you choose which one you want to listen to. See, the demon, you ain't got to be intentional about listening to the demon. It happens automatically.
And the thing about
excuse me.
I'm sorry. Let me pull you.
Hold on 1 second.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Zamots podcast, where we focus on faith,
family,
fitness,
finances,
and friendships.
Today I'm going to be reading from Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And it reads, "Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them." Amen.
Amen. All right, y'all. Welcome back, family. If y'all are new, welcome to the Zamots podcast. If you're not, thank you for coming back. Looks at you. Okay, so we're going to start off doing these cards today. It's called Who Are You? And we basically do these cards to give our perspective on these questions and different topics. They're broken down into 4 categories: possibilities and potentials, fears and insecurities, self-awareness and connections. So we're both going to give our perspective on that. And yeah, let's get into it.
All right, so you can do the first one.
You didn't say hey to them.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Okay.
Good. Okay, great.
If you could say no to things in your life that you feel obligated to say yes to, what would they be?
Wait, what was the
I'm sorry, y'all. My heartburn was taking over a little bit.
Which category are you reading
from? Fears and insecurities.
Got it. Fears and insecurities.
Want to repeat the question?
Yeah, what does it say?
If you could say no to things in your life that you feel obligated to say yes to, what would they be?
Favors for people. Maybe doing some extra like research or digging for clients, things that they can find themselves. Yeah, I would say that. So really just favors for people. I be feeling obligated to do favors for people sometimes, especially when they ask.
Like in the business?
In the business and just in life in general, right? Somebody asks for a favor. Like they're asking because they need it. Yeah. So you feel obligated to say yes.
That's true.
But at the same time, you may not necessarily want to. But it's like somebody asks you for a favor, how do you tell them no?
No.
That's a good way to do it. So yeah, that's my answer. What about your answer?
Hey y'all.
Okay. Good filler. That's a good filler.
Really the same thing. But I would have to say probably like giving advice or listening to people.
You'll say no to that?
Yeah, like if people like call me to like vent about the same thing, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, but I feel obligated to talk to you because obviously you don't have nobody else to vent to that has like the knowledge and wisdom to not like lead you astray in a way.
Right.
So I would say no to the endless phone calls of people complaining about the exact same thing and having the power to change it, but actually just comfortable or being okay with just complaining about the situation instead of fixing the situation. That's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
Like, don't call me about the same thing over and over again. And it's like people know me, so over time, like if you're calling me about the same thing, I'm about to say anything to get off the phone with you. Oh, I gotta go sweep the roof real quick. I'll call you back later. Like I'm not about to call you back. I don't want to hear that. You get what I'm saying? Because you just want somebody to like take pity with you or like throw a fit or coddle you. I'm not that person, so I would want to say no to that, but I feel obligated to because I'm that person that's like, even though you saying all that, I'm still gonna tell you like, well, what you doing about it?
Right.
okay, well, you could have handled it this way. You could have handled it that way. I did it this way. That's what helped me. Like, I'm still gonna advise you, but like, that don't mean it's not draining to me or it don't get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go.
I agree with that. All right, so I'm gonna read the next one. So I'm gonna read self-awareness. All right. It says, how do you feel about shutting out the noise and listening to your inner voice?
Very strong.
You feel very strong about it?
Now I do.
Yeah.
I think I'm still learning to shut out like the outside noise and hear like the inner voice, because we talked about this. Like, my intuition is like this. Like, situation recently had happened. One of my friends had COVID, and we were supposed to be linking that day. Like, she wasn't really feeling that good. Her baby wasn't feeling that good, and I wanted to I was laying in the bed like texting her. I'm like I really want to go because like we've been talking about Lincoln for a minute. Like, she really need this, I really need this. Like, we're really craving this, da da da, because both of us are pregnant. And like everything in me, like my inner voice was like, no, like don't go. And I was telling him, I'm like, I'm not about to go. Like, well, you just about to take me to go get fucked. Like, I'm not going. Like, she don't feel good. Like, being pregnant, you already like your immune system is like high risk because like you're carrying another child. So like I was like, no, no, no. But that was that inner voice where I heard it and I felt it, and I'm like, okay, no, like, okay, I'm gonna just tell her no. Like, we ain't going. The next day, less than 24 hours later, next day she told me that she tested positive for COVID, and her family had COVID. I haven't had COVID since COVID. Like, our entire family hasn't had COVID since COVID came out. That's a blessing because most people that I know, pretty much everybody that I know has had it. So yeah, I feel like it's getting stronger and stronger, and I'm learning to not second guess myself and learning to, that inner voice is nothing but God talking to you. So most definitely hearing it and not allowing my personal emotions to like dictate that, because there's several situations where that happened and then I'd be like, oh, I knew that. Like, I had a strong just like feeling like don't do that, no, do it this way, and I do it the opposite way, and
be mad
you
about
pay
it.
Yeah, you pay for it. Like, okay, that's why you couldn't get over that. Same with you too.
Yeah, no, that just happened to me recently, like just today, like a few hours ago. I'm like, check the bag, make sure you got everything.
You usually the one to always check the bag.
I'm always checking the bag, but I'm like, nah, the lady was like, she was good. She seemed like
she didn't put the Mac on you.
I'm like, nah, it's nobody. It's nobody.
She put the Mac on you.
No, it's nobody in the line. It's like, how could you make a mistake? I'm the only one. I'm the only one here. So, but she made the mistake, or somebody made the mistake, but it's okay. So anyway, it says, how do you feel about shutting out the noise and listening to your inner voice? I feel that it's extremely important. I'm doing it now more than ever before, learning to listen from within as opposed to using my actual ears and listening to the noise on the outside. So I think the big problem that we have in society, a big problem that we have in the world today is we're all so distracted because there's so much going on, right? There's so much, like, we got entertainment, we got phones, we got iPads, we got TVs, we got chaos outside, like horns, sirens. Like, there's always so much noise and distraction that you really have to be intentional about listening, getting quiet, putting yourself in a room and just listening to yourself, right? Meditate and doing what you have to do to hear that inner voice, because it's always speaking to you. It's just, if you have so many other noises, so many other things that are in conflict with that, you won't hear it, right? So I think it's extremely important. That's where you get your guidance. It's from that inner voice, which, like you said, is God speaking to you, right? But it's always two voices speaking to you, right? You got the, in the cartoons, they show you in the cartoons, you got the demon on one shoulder, then you got the angel on the other shoulder. Okay, so you choose which one you want to listen to. See, the demon, you ain't got to be intentional about listening to the demon. It happens automatically. The thing about excuse me.
I'm sorry. Let me pull you.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, so the thing
I don't mean to cut you off.
I don't mean to cut you off. Okay, the thing about the demon over here on this shoulder, you don't have to be intentional about listening to that, because this vehicle that we're operating in automatically draws to the negative. We got What's the science say? We got about 80% of our thoughts are negative throughout the day. Most people, the average person, 80% of their thoughts throughout the day are negative, right? So that you don't have to be intentional to be negative. You got to be intentional to be positive. Okay, you got to be intentional for the light to come on. Okay, you got to flip the switch. All right, if not, it's just darkness. Okay, so my wife wanted to say something. Yes, sweetheart.
I was gonna say like the devil, like sometimes like that, like the devil on your shoulder don't necessarily come with just negativity. The devil appeals to like your reality senses, like the okay, well, literally this, or like in reality this, or like the technically this. It repels to
the facts,
and something that's like more like, oh, well, common sense will say this. Like a lot of the times, like with that inner, the inner voice and the outer voice is your inner voice is telling you, okay, maybe you should, go and try this option because it makes more sense in the long run.
Right.
But then you have other people that have experienced different things. The devil, like I said, it's not, the devil don't always come in a negative sense, telling you, oh, well, I did this, so you should go ahead and do X, Y, Z, blah, 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 because they're going to treat you right, da, da, da. And lo and behold, your inner voice telling you something different. And it's like, okay, well, you had both of those on your shoulder and you listening to both of those. And it doesn't seem like, okay, well, if I go with A or B, it's not going to be something that's like, oh, that was like a horrible, bad decision. But the reason why we have the inner voice, we have God speaking to us, is because to avoid the long path, the long, process of certain things. Like for instance, the car situation. When did we start getting our car fixed? What, in July last year?
Yeah.
July of last year.
Yeah.
I first had inner thought, not inner thought, an inner voice telling me, I think we should go to the dealership. Think we should go to the dealership. No, it's gonna be a lot more money, but at least that's whenever, like, if something is wrong with it, whatever is wrong with it, they're gonna fix it because that's where the car came from.
Right.
You're trying to take a car that wasn't manufactured from, that dealership to other places, an unauthorized user to other places, and the only place that has the manuscript for your car is the dealership. Which is why they charge a long ticket for it, because it's the original.
Yeah.
You're going to say every single piece that you need for your car is going to be at the dealership where your car was made. Now we have other ways, 1,000 different other ways that's going to charge you, a ticket, and instead of it being this long, it's going to be about that long.
Yeah. It's going to be cheaper, but it's going to be more expensive in the long run.
You're going to pay the cost. So we end up, of course, we're young. So like we always try to listen to outside sources because we don't know everything.
Right.
And if you've been in this world long enough, sometimes you've been through some things that will prevent somebody else from having to go through the headache that you went. So he had the thought like, okay, I think we should, just take to dealership too. And then we both got outside, people in our ear. Once again, it's not coming in a negative way, just trying to help us of their experience and what we should do. They advised us, we did that, and we end up paying that penalty from July up until now, honestly. Like our car is still not fixed because we decided to take the different route and ignore our inner voice, and they end up doing more damage than good. So now we're paying a triple price of not only trying to get the car fixed somewhere to where it wasn't the dealership, it wasn't the manufacturer, but them also messing it up. We learned that.
It even worse.
It made it even worse. So that inner voice is so crucial. Like it's so important to listen to that and let that guide and let that lead you, because if not, you're gonna be paying the price. Like we didn't pay the price, and we didn't learn very quickly. Like if you hear something, or like God tell you something, or God tell him something, then okay, I'm listening. Well, babe, I think we should just. You ain't thinking. That ain't you thinking. That's God telling you. No, take the dealership. You pay that money. That money we would have been made. We're paying triple of what we would have paid if we just would have took it to the dealership.
That's a fact.
But that's life. It's a lesson learned. Like that lesson was learned. Like listen, Like, seriously, we learned inner voice and outer voice, I feel like, during that time period very quickly.
Yeah, yeah. The thing, since we preaching, let me go ahead and just add a little seasoning. So the thing about the enemy, right? The thing about the enemy is not going to try to trick you or make you think thoughts that are wrong, right? In terms of like he's not going to try to deceive you with doing the wrong thing, because he knows, if you're a good person, at
You're an
least.
adult at
Yeah,
this point.
if you're a good person, you understand right from wrong, and your moral compass is set to the right course. Then the enemy's not going to try to tempt you with doing the wrong thing. The enemy tries to tempt you with doing good things instead of doing what's right. Right. So that's how the enemy operates. He tries to get you to do what's good instead of doing what's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see, us taking our car to another unauthorized dealer, I mean, that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not
Because you
taking
get
it to
other
somebody on the
services
street.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. Right. But the right thing would have been to take it to the dealership, right? The one who actually created the car, to get it fixed. Okay, so we're just using the car situation as an example, but there's a number of different examples where the enemy operates in the lives of a follower of Christ. He operates in your life in
Multiple ways.
yeah, I was gonna say he operates in covertness, not overtness. Okay, so that being said,
We're gonna put that definition up there.
Yeah, we're gonna put the definition up there because I think I may have got it wrong. But all right, so next question. So which one are you gonna read?
But I don't believe connections. How would your best friend or significant other describe you in 3 words?
How would my best friend or significant other, they're the same, describe me in 3 words? How would you describe me in 3 words? Let me see. What do I think you would describe me as in 3 words? I would say I would say so much coming to my head. How would you describe me in 3 words, man? I would say you would say I'm funny.
Hilarious.
You would say
our daughter's right there.
I'm a professor. And then you'll also say that I am I think you would say I'm a good man.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 things. I mean, it's so much coming to my head, but those are just the 3.
Yeah, they should have gave like a category or something.
Yeah, that's a lot. But what do you actually say?
I actually say that you are fine.
Oh, that's one.
Real handsome. Okay, I'm gonna count that out. Okay. So what do I say? I don't know.
No, I like that one. Let's keep going. Okay. But that's just the extra. That's
just the extra. So the top 3, okay. I would say that you are hardworking. Okay. I say that you are confident, and I say that you are love.
That's good right there. That was wow. That was a part of the list, but it wasn't on the top of the list.
Okay. The list is long, but those are like the top, like what comes to my mind now. You asked me that 30 minutes now. It's gonna be something really different. Else.
How would okay? Wait.
You gotta
how would your best friend or significant other describe you in 3 words?
Okay, how would you describe me? I would say, a good mother.
Yeah.
I would say strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say thick.
Yeah. Yep. So that's good right there. So we could just keep that list.
What would you say? That would be your list?
I would say strong. I would say thick. I would say she'll be a good mother. She's a good mother. So we can keep those ones right there.
Okay. You got the last one.
All right.
Oh, no, I got the last one.
You just read this one.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the last one is possibilities and potential. All right. So it says, if you could go back in time to your younger self, what would you do that you never got a chance to do?
Slap everybody I felt like slapping. Big me in, coach.
Oh, that is hilarious. Slap everybody you felt like slapping. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, so let me put it in some real words. I do not promote violence, but sometimes people need to be slapped. I think I would speak, like I would speak up.
Speak up more.
That's the problem. I back in the day, especially if it's like you was my age or like my hands got to talking.
Yeah.
I really was like, you know how you hear about a lot of people like, oh, you know, they was talking. No, I was that person that like, you address me. If I didn't like what you said, I'm hitting you.
Yeah.
Like that's, but
There's nothing to talk
that was a
about.
trauma thing. That's all I seen. That's all that I knew was I'm not talking about anything. If I don't agree with it, if I said something, if you don't like, you come to me disrespectfully, you do something disrespect me. I'm not talking. I'm just hitting
You
you.
got to put the pause on you.
Yeah, I'm just hitting you. So I would say I would vocally express why I'm about to hit you when I was younger.
Still hit you, but now I'm gonna explain it before I
Cause
do
you
it.
need to be hit. Like
Yeah.
back in the day, like I mean, it was younger me, so I'm a firecracker. Like I can have that time frame where I just was just popping off. I was young, so yeah, I was younger. So
So that's
what was
good.
yours be?
So
If you could go back in time to your younger self, what would you do that you never got a chance to? I'm sorry. 1 second. I'm sorry, y'all. On the mic, I might be breathing hard, but my son is literally on my lungs. Like
she's pregnant.
he's on my
If you
lungs.
new here, my wife is pregnant, so that's why she's breathing heavy.
All right. It's just like when you say it, it's like
I took it off the top. I'm
Tubby.
sorry. So okay, so it says
Let me read it. You don't say it
I was
because I
pausing
say
for
it.
you, so you can say it.
No, you wasn't. What? If you could go back in time to your younger self, what would you do that you never got a chance to?
If I can go back in time to my younger self, I would. That's a great question. What would I do? What would I do that I never got a chance to? What did I never have a chance to do? My younger self.
Like thinking back to like your child and things that you wasn't able to do because you were told not to do or that you held back or something like that. That's why that's the first thing that came to my head. So I was told, stop hitting, like don't hit, don't fight. Like okay.
What would I do? Dang. What did I never got a chance to? I would say get more active in sports. Even though that wasn't necessarily up to me. But I mean kinda was, but kinda not. Yeah, I would say be more active in sports. Like take it more serious.
Seriously.
Because I played sports. I played football. I played baseball. Like I played basketball recreational though. I didn't play on a team, just outside. But yeah, I would have did that. I would have taken sports more serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so many other factors that come into play that it's like there's a reason why I did what I did or didn't do what I didn't do. But that would be my answer. I would just take athletics more serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think really like in the state of Georgia, like just being real, like in the state of Georgia to do sports like in school on a team is expensive.
Extremely.
It's extremely expensive. I remember like dance team, cheer, track, basketball, like all those things that I wanted to be a part of on an actual team. And high school, the tuition in total probably was like 3 stacks.
That's crazy. I remember
3 stacks. Like for cheer, just the audition process was $1,000.
That's crazy.
Where the hell is my parents gonna get $1,000 if they can't even afford rent?
Yeah, that's crazy. But I remember one time, my mama attests to this. I remember one time when I was playing baseball, I had to get a bat, right? Because if you're playing baseball,
you need a bat.
You need a bat. So
I don't understand why everybody can't share the same bat, but okay.
Yeah, they wasn't going for that. So I needed a bat. So we go to buy the bats. I think we was at Dick's Sporting Goods. So we looking in the bat section.
Dick's? That's the most expensive place to get.
What is it? But that's where you go. It's a sporting goods store. Yeah. Where else do you go? So we went to Dick's Sporting Goods, and Well, you childish.
I'm just
So,
no, I'm not even laughing because of that. You're child. I'm
oh,
laughing because your mom like would be coming out her mouth.
oh
Like
yeah, she went. So I picked up a bat. I'm like, I want this one. She looked at the she looked at the price tag and looked at me like I was nuts. Okay, a $400 bat. Bats are expensive, and that was back then. I was in like 2000, what 7?
mm-hmm.
Like bats are expensive. So anyway, I picked up like a $300-400 bat. Yeah, she looked at me crazy. So we ended up getting one that was like 130, 140. It was probably like 200 to be honest.
That's how you
Yeah.
know you her baby, because I would not have got that back.
Yeah.
They would have told me you gonna have to resign from the team.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It was a little steep for a bat.
You know, you play baseball no
And
more.
don't even play baseball. But I do love baseball. I love baseball. Not watching it, but like playing it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was nice at baseball. I think that was probably the sport that I was the best at.
Baseball?
Yeah, baseball. Yes. I was nice at baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you really most people like put it like if you're tall, they're like, oh, you got to play basketball. You got to play basketball. Right. But really, baseball, all them dudes be giants. They be hella tall.
If I had to choose like any sport to play professionally,
let me guess first.
Okay, go ahead.
Golf.
No, professionally?
Golf is a professional sport.
Yeah, it is, but
you literally argue with me about golf being the hardest sport to play over water.
You messed up you messed up what I was about to do.
Okay.
Because I had everybody thinking that I was going to say baseball.
Yeah, but
I was going to be like, you thought I was going to say baseball, huh? And I was going to say basketball.
I know you. You be hating it, huh?
So we about to get into the pod.
But I want to say mine.
What?
What would my sport be?
That wasn't one of the questions. I
don't care.
Okay, what would your sport?
Our show, not their show.
What would your sport be?
Guess.
You want me to guess?
Yeah.
Volleyball.
Yeah.
Too easy.
If our daughters want to play volleyball, I promise you, I'm going to volunteer to be the coaching staff. I'm a volunteer so where I can be on that bench. I'm trying to. If one of them girls get injured, I'm out there.
What?
I'm pulling off the sweatsuit.
She the reserve. She the reserve.
I was a beast at volleyball. I want to play some volleyball right now. Like I love volleyball. Like after we had this baby, I really want to either get into boxing or volleyball. I would prefer volleyball, but I really want to do boxing.
She really still want to fight. She still got a little built up anger.
Oh, for sure. Now that I'm an adult, it's people got on my nerves. I'm an adult. I can't just walk around slapping people like the commercial. You remember that commercial with the little kid? Y'all know that commercial. The little boy, I think he slaps the dude's daughter or something like that. And that man, they had a birthday party, and this man goes up and he slaps the entire, like he's walking up, boom, boom, just slapping people.
I don't remember that commercial, but it sounds about right.
Yeah, you can't do that as adults. So, but I like the form and like the discipline that boxing like puts on you. You have to be disciplined to be able to box. I just feel like that will help a lot.
Definitely.
On to the pod.
All right, family. So I wanted to share with you all a new word that I learned. Actually, it's not a new word that I learned. I just learned the definition. Been hearing the word, but I just finally looked it up the other day because I got tired of hearing the word and not looking it up. So it's called cognitive dissonance. All right. This is something that a lot of people struggle with, and this is something that I've struggled with personally. So cognitive dissonance, I'm going to read the definition. It says cognitive dissonance is a mental conflict that occurs when your beliefs don't line up with your actions. It's an uncomfortable state of mind when someone has contradictory values, attitudes, or perspectives about the same thing. Okay? So we can just think, how many people do we know that are dealing with cognitive dissonance? People that act one way or say one thing, but then act in a different way. Okay.
Everyone at some point.
Yeah, everyone at some point in their life. So the Bible talks about this. The Bible doesn't call it cognitive dissonance, but the Bible definitely talks about this in the book of James. So it's James chapter 1, verse 22. It says, do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. It says, do what it says. Anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like someone who looks at his face in the mirror and after looking at himself goes away and immediately forgets what he looks like. But whoever looks intently into the perfect law that gives freedom and continues in it, not forgetting what they have heard, but doing it, they will be blessed in what they do. Okay, so there are so many times that we get the facts and we understand, not even the facts, we understand the truth about something. Okay, and there is a difference between facts and truth. Facts are what's currently going on, right? Facts can change, right? The truth doesn't change, but facts change all the time, right? We see science changing the facts all the time, so facts can change. Truth is stagnant; it does not change. Okay, so that being said, there's been so many times that a lot of us have heard the truth about something, but because of the facts, right, we tend to forget what the truth is and operate strictly from the facts. Okay. So when we continue to do that, when we continue to have that type of behavior, it creates cognitive dissonance. And that is, again, when your actions don't line up with your beliefs, right? When you say one thing, but do another thing, right? You try to figure out like, man, why am I doing this? Why is it, Apostle Paul says, the things that I should not do, I do. And the things that I should be doing, I don't do. Right? It's like, why am I this way? Why is this my state? Well, it's because that's our nature, right? We live in this dysfunctional nature. Unfortunately, our nature is sinful, right? That's our nature. So that being said, I wanted to get your take on that word and then how you feel about cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance.
Can say it for me?
Cognitive dissonance.
That one right there. So cognitive dissonance. What do you have to say about that, sweetheart?
I feel like everybody go through that. You're gonna go through that your entire life.
Yeah.
As you're growing, changing habits, certain ways, you're gonna battle that back and forth of I'm talking about doing this, but I haven't yet transitioned into actually walking into that. I feel like there was a lot of episodes that we speak about being people pleasers and the different type of people pleasers. I feel like that falls into that branch perfectly because as a people pleaser, everyone is a people pleaser to some certain extent, whether you're extreme people pleaser or a mild, minor, whatever your case of people pleasing, it falls into the line of you trying to please somebody else's will over what you actually believe or compromising what you truly believe to satisfy somebody else. Yeah. So I feel like we all do. Like, I don't feel like it's necessarily a negative thing. I just feel like it's a process. Like at one point you will, speak and act and say you're doing a certain thing and haven't yet went into that, the actual act of it, the actual walking into it.
Right, because it is a transition, right? There has to be a transition period, and in that transition period, you may be speaking things that are the truth, but you're not necessarily living them.
Oh,
right?
For sure.
Because you're in the transition period, right? There's been plenty of times where, again, saying some things that you want to do or that you believe are the right things, but you're not yet living it, but you speak it as if you're living it. Yeah. Right? Because you're making that transition. Like you're imprinting that idea into your mind, into your subconscious mind, so that your actions can follow. Right? We got to understand that everything starts with thought, right? Everything starts in the mind. So everything that we see in reality is a manifestation of the real reality, which is the spiritual plane, right? It's the things that we don't see. That's reality. What we see out here is the manifestation of reality. Okay, so that being said, since everything starts in the mind, you have to condition your mind in a certain way in order for you to perform in a certain way, right?
Don't be just stagnant and just, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And you've been talking about doing it for the last 12 years and you still ain't did it. Right. That's the negative side of
cognitive dissonance. Yeah, cognitive dissonance is both negative and positive, just like everything else, right? There's a negative side and a positive side. In order for something to be positive, it has to have a negative side. All right, it's the law of polarity. I like talking about laws and principles and values because that's what the universe is made of, right? Yeah. That's God's automation. That's God's system. It's laws, it's principles, it's values. Okay, and when you stay within those laws, principles, and values, your life has balance, and you get an understanding of life, because life in itself is very complex if you don't have the parameters set. If you don't have your parameters set, which are the laws, the principles, and the values, if you don't have those parameters set, life is extremely complex. It's extremely difficult, right? You hear people say life is hard. Well, that's not 100% true, right? Life is what you make it, right? You can either look at it as being hard, or you can look at it as being what you make it, right? Either hard or easy, right? It just depends on your perspective. Okay, so with this new founded word that I'm going to be using forever now, cognitive dissonance, I understand that this is something that a lot of people deal with, struggle with, and will continue to struggle with, because we're all supposed to be growing, and we're all supposed to be, becoming more. Okay. So I want to go back to, and the reason I read out of the,
I like how you asked me a question. You just took over and just ran with it.
But you answered though,
and I wasn't done.
Oh,
you
okay. My bad.
You just waggled your way in and just took off with it with what I was saying.
I'm sorry. I had to get you back from earlier when I'm in the middle of my soliloquy, and you just gotta you gotta give me my. Go ahead.
No, because what happened is that we flow off of each other. That's all that is.
Flow.
But before you transition into another flow, I wouldn't finish.
My bad. Go ahead. Saying. Finish what you're saying.
This is what I was saying. I did forget because I was thinking like, dang, like he really just like we literally said. I like that though. But what I was gonna say is, I forgot. But you keep going.
So in the book of Genesis, God established the parameters for life, the parameters for success, which are be, do, have. And I spoke about this before. You probably heard it from someone else. This ain't nothing I made up. It's just always been around, right? It's nothing new under the sun, right? You just got new people saying it in different ways. Okay. So be, do, have is the parameters for understanding this life or constructing this life that we have. So it's being who you're supposed to be, so you can do what you're supposed to do, and then you can have what you're supposed to have. So, you don't be, can't do, right? Can't do, won't have, right? If you be, then you will do, and you will have. Okay. So that ties in with the whole idea of cognitive dissonance, because if you have beliefs in your head or in your mind about a particular thing, and those beliefs are in conflict with your programming, right? If those ideas are in conflict with your programming, then you're not going to be able to act it out. And I'll give you an example. If somebody believes that eating animals is wrong, right? If somebody believes that eating animals is wrong, but they continue to do it, right? Somewhere along the lines, that belief and the belief, between the belief and the action, somewhere along the line, there's some disconnect, right? It's either they do believe that eating the animals is wrong, or they say they believe the animals is wrong, but deep down they really don't, right? So that's where that dissonance comes in. Okay, so again, this is something that all of us struggle with. We're going to continue to struggle with. But it's about continuing to grow, so that when you're going through that transition period, you start to perform in a certain way that aligns your words that you speak and the actions that you perform as well. So what else did you have to say regarding that, sweetheart?
Why are you choosing me like that? This is what I got to say because it came back to me. I was going to say, it's kind of like how, I feel like it's more popular now, like self-care, getting, your mind right before the day starts, all this, which I feel very strong in. Like, for me personally, I really think that is a good way to do it. But my transition from me being, not a mom to being a mom, like being that early morning person, it's just not there. It's just not there. Like, I'm just not a morning person for real. Like, once I'm up, I'm up. But to wake up extra early, it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because
Yeah.
for like literally our oldest daughter, she's 4. So you gotta think about for 4 years now, I've been up early. You know, so when they transition to after they turn 1 and they're sleeping all night, I get my sleep back. And then now like it's been back to back. So Noelle, she's 4, and got pregnant with Naomi when Noelle turned 2. So now I'm pregnant, and now the sleep that I lose while being pregnant because of the uncomfortableness, the pain, all this other stuff, I'm losing sleep.
Yeah.
So to have to get up early, it's like a battle with myself. I know that I need to. I feel like it is best, but I'm still literally mentally preparing my mind to, okay, waking up out of the bed while the kids are still asleep to get myself together. And I know, like, once I'm up, I'm up. I'm not going back to sleep.
Yeah.
Or if I do go back to sleep, it's like, okay, by the time I lay back in the bed, they both already on me. You know what I'm saying? So I battled, like, that's my...
I want to hear you say it.
Consistency. Okay, say the word.
No.
Say the word.
No.
Say the word.
You say the word.
I'm still learning it. Say the word.
Cognitive. Say it with me.
Cognitive.
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 Dissonance.
Dissonance.
Cognitive.
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 Exactly. Dissonance.
Dissonance.
That's it. Say it together.
Cognitive dissonance.
Exactly.
Exactly. Anyways, that word. Yeah, that's something that I still go back and forth with myself with, far as like, wait, I know that I'm gonna have to do it. I know that I need to do it. It's just a matter of doing it. Like, it's still just putting that thought into work, but it's still in the thought process.
Yeah. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, he shall also reap. All right. So every thought that you think is a seed. Every deed is a seed. Everything that you do has seed attached to it, right? So when you're speaking things that are not as though they are, and you continue to speak those things, eventually they're going to lock into your subconscious mind, and you're going to start to perform that thing that you've been speaking about, right? So people that claim to be sick all the time, right? They speak out of their mouth that, oh, I'm sick, right? Or I'm in pain, right? Or this is hard, or I can't do this. Okay, well, you keep talking like that, and that's exactly what's going to happen. You're not going to be able to do it, right? You are going to be sick. You are going to be in pain because you're casting spells on yourself. That's why they call it spelling, right? So anyway,
yeah, that just happened.
Yeah, I had to speak my piece on that real fast. You watch your mouth. Okay, I think that might be the name of the podcast. Watch your mouth.
Your lip is too lippy.
Okay. So listen, you got anything else?
So that just happened.
You got anything else you want to say?
Sweetheart.
Because if I try to end without asking her if she got something to say, I get yelled at off camera. Okay?
Off camera, you cut it out. I say it on camera, so don't do that. And leave that part right there in there.
Okay. I'm getting verbally.
Nothing. You're getting talked to.
So we love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
So how you gonna ask me if I got something to say?
And
then
listen,
you say
like,
slap.
comment, subscribe.
Turn on your post notifications so you be notified every single time that we post.
Share with your friends.
Follow us on all social media sites.
You know what I mean? Engage with us. Comment. Tell us your thoughts, your perspectives. Hey, if you disagree respectfully. We welcome it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that.
We love a good conversation.
But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Let love for your hearts, family.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
Bye.